Hey guys, James with Torches and Tactical, and today we're looking at the Sofirn SC13. Now this is an incredibly small, well they call it a multi-purpose and EDC or keychain light, and I believe it. I mean, look how small it is in my hands. But before we get into that, before we get into any specs, I'm just going to run through everything that comes in the package so we can get straight down to business. So for starters, it comes with a USB-C to USB-A cable because this does have onboard USB-C charging. It does come with a generic lanyard and a couple replacement O-rings. You also have your SC13 user manual. So a couple different languages, lets you know all the specifications and how to use it. So let's go ahead and get that and the box out of the way. I mean, well, for starters, I mean, look at the box. The box is incredibly tiny, and that's because, I mean, the light's incredibly tiny. So now that all of that stuff's out of the way, let's go ahead and focus on the SC13. Now the SC13 gives you up to 1300 lumens, all powered by an 1100 milliamp hour 18350 cell. And on top of that, you do also have a high mode of 500 lumens, medium mode of 150 lumens, low of 10, and a moonlight of 1 lumen. So that 1 lumen mode will run up to 100 hours, and that 1300 lumen turbo mode will shine out to 217 meters. It will run for 2 minutes at 1300 lumens and then drop down to 500 lumens for another hour and 20 minutes. And that will operate at 11,750 candela. As far as the size of this, it is 64.6 millimeters in length by 28.5 millimeters in width. And for everyone in North America, that is 2.54 inches by 1.12 inches. It is also IP68 rated and is drop resistant to 1 meter, so it can take a beating as well. Now, as far as weight goes, it does come in at 1.41 ounces. That's without that 18350 cell. And I mean, I'm just going to tell you guys right now, it is incredibly easy for this to get lost in the pocket. I've had this in my pocket. Well, actually, for those that think that I don't use these lights, you can already see that I've nicked it up a little bit here, and I did try cleaning it up so you guys could see what it looks like in its prime, but I've been getting a lot of use out of this. So I will go ahead and walk through the body here just real fast. You do see that Fresnel, or that, you do see that lens up here, and there are a few ripples. It does kind of operate like a TIR, but it is like a Fresnel lens. That sits pretty deep inside that bezel. Now stepping down, there is that groove here for that pocket clip. The pocket clip did not come installed, but it did come in that box as well. Stepping down again, you have a round USB-C charging port because, it kind of fits the design of the switch 180 degrees of it. I will go ahead and walk through those here in just a second, but we step down and you'll see that it does come in. Now, to me, this looks like a much wider version of the Workos TS10, but it has this machining in here to definitely differentiate it from that TS10. You do have your tail cap as well. This unscrews. You can see that O-ring right there. And then you have some square cut threads that are very, very well lubricated and a pretty stiff spring. Now this is that 18350 cell. It is 1100 milliamp hours. And again, this will operate for up to 100 hours in that 1 lumen moonlight mode. As far as that switch goes, it is probably one of the loudest E-switches I've ever heard. I'm going to bring it up to the camera real fast, and hopefully you guys can hear this. You can hear when I click on that. Okay, but now that I did that, oh, sorry about that. Everything's all greasy now. But one of the loudest E-switches I've ever used to date. So inside that switch also, there is a small indicator. So when the light's switched on, right now it's green, and that will be green when it's between 70 and 100% battery life. It'll switch over to red when it's between 30 and 70%. And when it is under 30%, it will flash red. This does also serve as a charge indicator, which I'll show you right now. I do have a cord already set up, so we can open that port, plug that in, and right now it's red, indicating that it is charging, but this will turn green when it is complete. I did charge it up before this video, so that probably would have changed to green pretty quick. But I just want to move on so you guys can get this abridged review and find out if this is something that you would like to use. So now I will go ahead and say again that this is an incredibly small light, and I've had the pleasure of using this for a while. But if you want to know how to use it as well, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through that user interface right now. So for starters, super simple to turn it on. One click will turn it on and off. So whatever mode you had it in prior to shutting it off, it will go straight back to that. Now when it's on, you can press and hold, and this will switch between low, medium, and high. And then from either on or off, you can go ahead and do a double press. This will go to the full 1300 lumen turbo mode. And if you do a double press again, this will operate your strobe. This strobe also operates at 1300 lumens. So while it is off, you can do a press and hold, and this will go to that 1 lumen moonlight mode. So if you find yourself in a situation where you need to where you need to use a little bit of light without waking people up, or a situation similar to that, you can go ahead and activate that moonlight mode. So we'll do one more press to shut that off. And then finally, there is 3 clicks to lock out. So 1, 2, 3, and it will flash twice to let you know it's locked out now. So you can't turn this on, but what you can do is you can press and hold for a momentary moonlight mode. So this will operate that 1 lumen moonlight mode, and as soon as you let go, it will shut off. So let's go ahead and click it 3 times one more time. There we go. The light is unlocked again. But now that we've seen this operate, we know how it works. I want to show you guys how this compares to another light. So let's go ahead and get the Workos TS10. Now we can see here, this is a 14500 light. This is 18350. So smaller battery, well, shorter battery, but this one does stand a little bit longer. And if I line up the bases, you can see that, well, I mean, basically the SC13 ends where the bezel begins on the TS10. And the TS10 is no large light. But what I want to do now is I want to take these both outside so you guys can see how the SC13 with its 1300 lumens compares to the TS10 with its 1400 lumens. Now this is the 4000K model, so it's going to come in quite a bit warmer than the SC13. But I just want to be able to show you guys what the difference looks like between 3 emitters rounding out to 1400 lumens and that single emitter shining out at 1300 lumens. So let's get out there. All right, guys, tonight we are out with the Sofirn SC13. Now this has a max of 1300 lumens, and we're going to compare it with the Workos TS10. So let's just get straight into it. I'm going to do a press and hold, and this is 1 lumen moonlight mode. Then from here we can press and hold again. This is 10 lumens. Now if we move to medium, this is 150 lumens. Press one more time. Here we have 500 lumens for high mode. And I'm going to do a double press now. This is 1300 lumens from the Sofirn SC13. And with the Workos TS10, I'm just going to go ahead and do a double press and go straight to turbo. This is 1400 lumens from the Workos TS10 for comparison. This is 1400 lumens, Workos TS10. This is in 4000K, so quite a bit different than the SC13. Now, just so we can compare, one more time, I'm going to do a double press, go straight to 1300 lumens. 1300 lumens, a better hotspot than the Workos TS10, but comes in very, very cold comparatively. And again, 1400 lumens from the Workos TS10. So basically no hotspot. Those short reflectors give it all flood. And I will make a quick note that the thermal management is much better on the SC13. So guys, now that we've seen and compared those, let's get back inside. All right, guys, we went outside and we compared the Sofirn SC13 with the Workos TS10. Now, I mean, if you want warm, frankly, I think the Workos TS10 comes in a little bit better than the SC13. So here we go. I'll shine these both down here. But one thing I really, really do like about it is for such a small light and such a shallow reflector, this really does give you a pretty decent hotspot. I think their engineering into this reflector, they put quite a bit of time into the design, and I think it shows. This has a pretty decent hotspot. Here, you can see that right here. It is soft around the edges, but this makes it super easy when you just need to kind of pinpoint something out in the field or on your property. It's an excellent light for that. coupled with the fact that the SC13 is so incredibly small. I mean, granted, it is a little wider, but it's incredibly small, and I really do think you can easily carry this as a keychain light. So guys, that's what I think of the SC13. If you have any qualms with it, go ahead and let me know down in the comments, and I would love to know how you think the SC13 compared to that Workos TS10. So guys, finally, thank you so much for being here with me today. If the SC13 is something that interests you, I will go ahead and leave links down in the description so you can check this out on Amazon and Sofirn directly. And finally, if you could like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel, that'd be fantastic. And when you subscribe, click on that bell notification so you guys can find out when we're doing our next giveaway, which is coming up very, very soon. And you guys can find out exactly when our next video is going to drop. So thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next one.